A word for our listeners. Masks of Nyarlathotep is set in the 1920s. We will be using terms and sayings from those times, including some that could be considered offensive. It is not our intention to offend. We merely wish to offer as accurate a view of the time period as possible. Welcome to the Nerds Domain presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. Join us each week as our investigators follow a path of clues and attempt to save the world from an ancient evil. Starring John Quiett, Jestin Kimmet, Shirley Niedzwiecki, George Chimples, Jason Hall, and Scott Troiano, with Matt Quiett running the table as keeper. Eldritch evils and crazed cultists await you just beyond this music.
Hi everybody, and welcome back to Masks of Nyarlathotep! Shanghai chapter.
Woo.
There it goes. It's haunted here. I'm here with Johnny.
Hi.
Justin.
Hi.
Scott. George.
Oh, hello.
And Shirley.
Hello.
And of course, I'm Matt. And we have made it to Shanghai. I believe the boat had just pulled in when we last ended our last episode. It's been like 2 months since we recorded.
Did we do games on the boat and stuff like that? I don't think we did that. Did we?
I did.
Okay.
That's all that matters.
Well,
All my marks are erased, so I think we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So George, you had a plan for when you guys got here, right?
No, I didn't. I had a person for them to meet when Mob died.
Okay. So do you have contacts in Shanghai?
Yes.
So you guys pull into the dock in Shanghai. It's there are a lot of Chinese, probably more Chinese than any of you have ever seen. But there are also a large smattering of Europeans. Yes.
And this is Shanghai in which country?
China.
So we would not expect to see this many Chinese.
Did I say that?
Okay,
Because I've only ever seen one other.
Woo!
But it's probably more
China.
crowded than anyone.
Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, Jesse's character has probably never seen a single other Chinese person other than Ma.
Yeah.
Eva might have seen some in the West, but not a lot.
There's a few.
Father Grave might have seen one or two in some weird offhanded chance.
Yeah.
And unless Archibald has been,
No.
or I'm sorry, Robert
Robert.
has been going somewhere I'm not aware of, you've probably not seen a lot of Chinese people either.
He's
So
like
my
the first one I've ever met.
original statement still stands. There are a lot of Chinese people, which is different from anywhere that you have ever been. That's why I'm saying something
Okay.
out of your norm.
Okay.
The second statement is that there are also a lot of Western Europeans here as well.
What does that look like?
There are a lot of. They're white. They're dressed in Western garb. So actually,
They're Caucasian.
Eva, it looks kind of like London as far as the dress and the people walking around. There are a lot of British people here.
So the majority of the Chinese folks are not wearing silk pajamas a la
They are.
Wealthy.
I would assume no. Actually, I would assume there's a lot of Western dress, but not uniformly.
It was it may not be silk, but it would be like there are some that appropriate the English traditions, and those are the ones that generally deal with the English and the foreigners. The lower classes, the workers, stick with traditional Chinese garb, maybe incorporating a hat or something odd here and there. I think the timing is a little off, but if you've ever seen a Jackie Chan movie set not in the modern day, like Drunken Master,
Right.
that's what we would be seeing. Just the weird bowler here, suit and tie there on a Chinese person.
If it helps, Scott, think of Wu from Deadwood,
Right.
and he did wear very specific clothing that was not at all Western, but he also dressed up at least twice in that show.
Right. Well, and when he said Drunken Master, I didn't exactly.
Oh,
Okay.
I've never seen Drunken Master either.
What?
Go ahead, make fun
What?
of me for that one. Go ahead.
What year is
should
this, by the way?
1925.
Oh.
Yeah, like I said, I forget what year Drunken Master took place in, but
I want to say it was the 30s, but I could be wrong. But it still
I think
fits that
I think
same
it's slightly
general idea.
past where we are.
Yeah. So you guys come down off of the ship. You were on a British registered ship, so you are met by a British dockmaster who helps you get through what equates to customs here, which is really just You guys have your bags? It's real lax. It's not like London or Cairo that you were at before. And no one seems to be, none of the Chinese seem to be ready to bother you. Because you're clearly Westerners. Where are you guys headed?
I would direct them towards the place that I know, which would be a dockside bar.
Okay.
The Turtle's Tail. That we go into a very rough section of town, but possibly people might recognize me.
And this is a very Chinese bar, or is this a sailors?
A place where there's a lot of mingling of people, where you'd expect illegal activities could be held, like Mos Eisley Cantina, sort of like that.
Okay,
kind of
so a hive of scum and villainy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, you know what? We're like 5 minutes in, and we've already quoted Star Wars. We can end right now.
I glanced at my phone. There was a Star Wars reference on my Twitter feed. It's funny.
So you guys head down to the Turtle's Tail. Moss seems to be taking the lead, which makes sense. You guys have kind of taken the lead everywhere else because that's where it made sense for you guys. But Ma takes you down the docks into what looks like a little rough area, and then it gets rougher and a little rougher, and then he finally takes you to what looks like a hole in the wall, and he just enters like he belongs there.
And I imagine the Caucasian count has dropped off.
There are still some, but these are like the drunks that are sailors and the rougher guys that you know their maritime or their time on land is questionable at best.
Smugglers.
Yeah.
So as much as Moss stuck out in previous chapters, now we all do.
Yeah. Especially you.
Yeah.
Honestly, and the female, and
I have like 5 spears on my back.
Yeah, you stick out like a bleeding sore thumb. Like you could not stick out more.
Yeah.
You're probably the only African, not African American. I almost did it again. You're probably the only African here at all.
Yeah, I'm just walking down the street with a rifle on my back.
You probably fit in, actually.
He died again.
They note you, but not in the that's
African. What is that?
they note you, but not in a that's weird. More of a he's got a gun, and they give you not a wider berth, but more of a respectful berth.
Sure. Unlike the spears over here, who they're like, what?
Well, but if he's crazy enough to carry him, he's crazy enough to use him. So you don't really question that.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I believe at the time swords are still considered usable weapons in China.
Yeah.
We'll go to our anthropology department here.
Yeah, and they were using them in World War II. So.
Yeah. So you guys follow him into the bar?
Unless he says otherwise, yes.
Sure.
Okay. The bar isn't. It's probably midday, so the bar isn't full, but it is not empty either. And the people in there are the rough kind of people you would expect in this kind of bar. Ma goes in. You sit down at the bar, or do you grab a table?
Sit down at the bar.
Okay. He walks up to the bar, and a Chinese gentleman comes up and takes a quick order. Do you order something alcoholic?
Yeah, liquor for everybody.
Do you order something? Do you give him the right passphrase to order something illegal, like to flag that you're looking for someone or something?
Yeah, well, hard liquor for everyone, and then I'll say, tell so and so. Is there any name for like any sort of like crime boss or anything there?
No, not really. So make up whatever you want.
Deng Lao show.
Okay.
No, you show. Deng Lao, that's fine. Tell Deng Lao that Ma Chinsho is back.
Okay.
And what I'm envisioning is that this is a smuggler crime boss, not like, the kingpin of the city, but someone who's involved in stuff who's known, that I've done work for, possibly as a lightbreaker or bagman. I've worked for him, ended on decent terms. But he's a contact, someone stable in the city.
Yeah. He nods at you, takes your order.
I grab his wrist, say, and there's extra money in it if you don't tell the other people who are looking for new people in town that I'm here. We will not be on that list.
He nods again, a little more knowingly. He walks over to guy that looks kind of half drunk. He says some quick words. You can't quite make it out, but it's clear that he's sending him off to go find your contact. And he comes back with 5 glasses of liquor, leaving out the female.
She kind of looks around confused. Where's mine?
The bartender looks over at Ma. Ma signals, and he sighs a little bit and pours another one and puts it out there. And then he goes back to doing whatever else he was doing, cleaning the dirty glass with a dirty rag.
So I lean over to Ma and I'm like, Mr. Ma, sir, had I known we would have been in this situation, I would have worn my breeches and dusted.
They may take you more seriously that way.
In my dress or in my duster?
Duster and guns.
Well, when we get to a place where I can change, I would like that very much, sir.
I'll try to find us suitable accommodations soon enough.
You guys sit down and drink for a few and wait.
Yes.
Is that the plan, Ma?
Yeah.
Okay.
I ordered also like really harsh liquor for everyone.
What? So you get.
Does Father do you drink?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the Catholic priest. It's not one of the.
Right.
Well,
No,
Not
I just,
to,
Fire
not to
water back
excess.
home.
well, no, but I mean, will you put lips to glass?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm French.
I'm not gonna drink until he does. And when I see he's drinking, I'm just like, okay, let's go.
Jesse, does your character drink? Have you ever had liquor?
I hadn't. I have now.
Whoa.
What is
Oh,
this?
I
Oh no.
They like, I mean,
every civilization has developed alcohol.
They have, but I'm not sure if it'd be hard or not.
yeah.
Well,
Not
that's
If there's
especially-
agriculture, if there's agriculture, it's like, I mean, corn liquor. It's like
Yeah.
the most basic thing. They definitely have corn.
And probably
So,
not
probably.
anything like this.
No, I mean,
No,
this
it'd probably
might
be the same. Probably be really,
really?
rough.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah.
What? They don't have the
don't have
technology. that
That's
the
true.
They
English
don't have the
for
little
frying.
umbrellas.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
probably rice based, but it's also probably like, it's just rot gut. Like it's all rot gut. That's just people make.
Shiny.
It's amazing.
Moonshine is not particularly smooth.
No, I know. Yeah.
No, and it gives me this rash on my chest. It's weird.
And that has been an addition of too much information from Shirley. So you guys wait 5, maybe 10 minutes, and then a gentleman in a top hat, or in a bowler and a suit that's been a little messed, comes in, walks over to the table. He bows slightly to you, Ma. He says, I'm to understand that you're looking for someone.
Yes.
I would like to take you to him. He has requested that.
Thank you. I'd say he's going to take us to.
And he says it in English.
Oh, great.
So it is heavily accented and slightly broken, not very badly, but you also probably all brought your trunks with you and bags, so it's been a little awkward if they just kind of hover around your table. But he snaps a couple of times, and like 4 of the bar patrons come over and take your things, like, and carry them with you.
Well, I
I'm a little
imagine they
surprised,
all
and I'm
shoot a glass
like,
or glance at Ma and like, is this cool? Is this like so far okay? All right.
If we're being invited by this man and they steal from this man, they know what will happen.
All right.
So you were taken down the rough streets. They get a little less rough, but they're still definitely not a place you'd want to be after dark. To what you would consider a small house for most of you, but is much larger than most of the homes in this area. And you're taken into a courtyard where your trunks and bags are kind of stacked, not super neat, but nicely enough. And you are ushered inside by the courier, or the guy that brought the message. What did you say this guy's name was?
Deng Lao.
Deng Lao. And sitting inside is Deng Lao, dressed again in a suit that has seen better days. It's not threadbare, but it's a little rough. The hat has some scuffs and some marks on it, but he's clearly in what you would consider British formal attire to meet guests of business. He motions for you to sit down, and he stands and shakes. Shaking hands is a Western culture thing, but still something that would have been adopted, right?
It depends on what kind of person he is. Does he want to be a Westerner, or does he want to be old Chinese?
He bows to you,
Mhm.
but shakes the hands of all the Westerners. And Jesse, what is your character's name? Chizobo, he looks at you and doesn't do anything, as though he's confused. Not necessarily that he doesn't want to greet you, but he doesn't know the cultural appropriateness.
I'll nod in his general direction.
And he nods back, and he takes a seat again.
Before we actually entered, I would have told everyone, this is a man of importance and power. It is in your best interest if you treat him respectfully. Just to make that clear. Right.
Ma, what can I do for you?
Well, Boss Dang, my previous employment has led me here. We, looking pensive and trying to find the words. For lack of a better story.
This is all in English?
Yeah.
Okay.
I found myself traveling with these individuals, fighting evil, for lack of a better word.
Okay.
Devil worshippers, cultists, practitioners of the dark arts. Not my usual thing,
No.
to understand. But
No, not at all.
there are evils far more worse than thievery and murder. And these are the people that do it.
What might I do for you?
We are looking for a safe haven, some kind of protection, and any sort of information you might know or people that you know might know of, so that we might stop the world from ending, in essence.
I can put you in somewhere to stay, and provide some protection. Do you expect some sort of attack here?
Most definitely. And he laughs.
Are these evil practitioners, are they located here?
Our path has led us here. Some of us have followed this from America, through England, through Egypt and Kenya, all the way to here.
That is a long route.
Yes. What we fight is a global thing. They have many tentacles.
I can provide you with these things, but payment.
There will be payment.
Substantial payment.
Yes.
Hiding 6 individuals is a difficult task.
Right. Out of character, who's got control of the money? The professor, actually, is still with us, right?
Yes, he is.
Oh, look at the professor.
I have some. I would have.
Actually, you probably also all have money.
I have
Eva
Wilkerson
and
State behind me.
Grave, both give me a credit rating roll.
You mean living good?
Well, you could too, yeah. I forgot. Do you have money?
No, not money.
Okay. If you want to give me one, that's fine.
Oh yeah,
Somebody's got all.
I made it.
Did you succeed?
I failed.
I made it.
Made it.
Okay. Burns are kind of late in a party fund, so I'm sure it's with the professor. So,
Just saying.
yeah, let me. I'm sure you don't just have the kind of cash that I'm looking for laying around, but let me.
I would just look at Ma, but then because I don't know the customs, keep my mouth.
But perhaps we can get something sent to me. I would prefer Mexican dollars.
Then I sort of give you a little nod and prop open a small chest with my foot that has 5 or 6 large ivory pieces in it. Let the lid of the chest fall back down.
Like uncarved ivory pieces?
Yeah.
Or that, and do you have more of that? I'm sorry.
Yes. I nod once.
Then perhaps just some ivory would be more than enough.
Is it
Take
really
care of
that?
Oh, yeah. Ivory is something that they use a lot for decoration in China, and
But
these-
also medicinal.
yeah, and these are probably large tusks.
Yeah.
So this is like pure ivory, huge pieces of pure ivory. I assume like they're either broken or something
Right.
to stack so he can
Sawn,
transport
yeah.
them. But still, good chunks of ivory, they can get a lot of stuff out of
It's probably worth more than its weight in gold. Like it's. You know.
I would be happy to take that ivory. And he seems almost not eager, but like, wow, money would have been nice, but that would be way better.
Pick up the trunk and hand it to Mom.
I bow and hand it to Dang.
And he sets it down, and a gentleman in traditional Chinese garb comes in, picks it up, and walks off with it. And he doesn't even he doesn't even turn to notice this person. It's just like he expected it to happen. Well, in that case, I will put 4 of my best men with you, unless you think more is needed. And we will set you up in a house. I would assume you'd want to be in the British Quarter, so you don't stick out as much. I would suggest that perhaps you change into more traditional clothing to look as a servant.
Yes.
And then I'm not sure what you will do with the black gentleman.
This man has come from Africa. This is his man.
I see. As long as that is understood and can be worked out.
Do you understand what I mean by this?
Yes. Who did you motion to that said it's his man? Oh, okay.
And Grave, are you still in priest clothing?
Yeah,
And you, sir, should lose the collar.
missionaries are not looked upon well here.
Missionaries stick out.
Ah, I see your opinion now. Thank you for the advice.
Your religion is your own, and you may practice it wherever you please, but it will make you a target.
Do we have any shared languages? Because I speak English, Latin, Arabic, French.
Arabic.
Would in our then I'll say in Arabic. Would this be a person to inquire about our after the names of the people we were searching for? We might have contacts. We might have contacts. We might know.
The man was a mercenary that we were searching for.
Yes.
He would definitely.
Okay.
Can you roll luck for me?
Sure. No. Missed it by 14.
Which and the boss says, which mercenary are we looking for?
Did you say that in English or?
Yeah, Nails is the wrong guy. You're looking for Brass Brady.
Brass, sorry.
Yeah, no, he just speaks it in English, like as though he followed along the whole time, and is not offended. He
Right.
just who are we? Like he's expediting.
Yeah.
So which mercenary are we looking for?
Brass Brady.
One of you can roll luck.
I have an 80.
What's the odds of failing, right?
Wow.
I'm not familiar.
98.
You know what? You need to
Out of
stop
80.
talking.
98. Yeah, I blame Jesse for that one.
What was your last one? A 97?
94
That's
out of
amazing.
80.
I rolled a 14.
Of course, with combat counts.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with this gentleman, Brass, but I can put out some feelers, and we'll just consider it part of what you've already paid for.
Yes, is there anything else that we should ask Boss Deng to look for? I've been away from Shanghai for too long. He knows.
Just a reminder, you have a matchbook from the Stumbling Tiger, so at least getting directions there might be helpful.
Well, yeah, we'll mention that. That has connections to Brass Brady, right?
It does.
So we'll mention the Stumbling Tiger.
And ask if there are any territorial concerns about going to visit the Stumbling Tiger.
Good point. Other
Or gender.
groups.
I don't care about
Yeah.
gender, I'm a man. don't have to worry about it.
Many men, man.
I guess what I would say to that is, are there any, should we discuss it in private, not to dishonor our host, but perhaps he does not wish to know everything, like as we discuss what we want to know, he may overhear things he does not wish to know.
Part of his business is knowing things.
I just don't want to force anyone on into, or this conversation if they don't want to be a part of it. So
If we fail, he's a dead man. They're all dead men.
well, the world would all be dead.
Absolutely.
If we fail.
He's a part of it whether he wants to be or not.
This is your keeper reminding you have a couple other leads.
In at least 2 months.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So you have the logbook from Singh in Kenya,
Yeah.
which spoke of a Hofeng imports.
Yes.
And then you also, I'm looking for, you also know that there is rumored to be a cult of the bloated woman in China, which would be another version of Nyarlathotep. So that would be something that definitely you would want to, or order up the bloated woman.
Wasn't there also an importer for the shop in Harlem?
That was African goods.
Yeah, and that one actually took you to Kenya,
Right.
and you
okay,
followed
sorry.
up on that one already. But that's a good call.
What was the name of the cat thing again? Sorry.
The cat thing?
The matchbook, it was the stuttering.
Stumbling
Stumbling tiger.
Stumbling tiger?
Yeah.
Right? The stuttering. Jeez.
Because the tiger is drunk.
Yep.
Stuttering cat. Stumbling tiger. Close. Yeah, just to expedite it, I would just say, just dump all this. We're interested in these things. If you can find us anything about them.
You mentioned Hofeng, and I am familiar with that business. I can point you towards that as well. And then when you mentioned the order, it says he looks around his own house and snaps twice, and you hear several doors close. And he says, "Please don't speak that too loud."
See, that's what I was talking about.
While I hope to trust my servants to not be involved in such a thing,
We may have had a plant.
contact with that group is rampant, especially within those who follow the older beliefs. You'll find many of that order here, from high to low. In fact, Mr. Feng may also be part of that.
That would make sense.
It is these people we are fighting against.
Then you have a great enemy.
Oh, yes.
Because they want to bring about the end of the world.
You also have a photo of a ship, a junk. I assume you pull that, or the professor pulls that out because he's on top of all this stuff.
Yeah, totally.
He looks at it. I'm familiar with this registry. The Dark Mistress is a ship that I would have to look into more, but has strange port habits.
We also never got a name for that boat. Was that just because we didn't read Chinese back in the day?
Yeah.
Okay, great, perfect.
Yeah, and that was not something you guys had shown to Ma, because you guys weren't coming to China, so it wasn't the first thing on your mind either.
I'm sure he would have had a chance to see it. We just never talked about it in character.
Yeah. I'm familiar with the Dark Mistress only because it is one of those ships we avoid. Too many strange things. So.
Definitely on our list of targets to check out then.
How about we get you settled in for the night at the home I spoke of? I will send 6 of my best men with you.
Oh,
I will send 8 of my best men with you. 8's a good number. Perhaps we will see you again. And he says that in such a tone that it suggests that he's expecting you all to die tonight.
Yeah.
Just bye. And he stands, which Ma, is customary for everyone to stand at that point. And
We stand up.
he walks out the door that you came in, and the courier that came and got you is standing there, and he says a couple of quick things in Mandarin. Just basically take them to the house, take their things with them, call these 8 men, make sure that they're there on guard all night. Anyone who's caught sleeping should be disciplined appropriately, so on and so forth. Like he's very serious about this now. He seems concerned about you, but only in a I should probably get this far away from me before it explodes kind of way.
So as we're leaving, I turn to Robert.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your opinion.
Oh, good thing nothing of it.
So some servants come in and grab your things. They're put onto a cart that the courier, not a cart, a truck, a small truck that the courier has brought around, and then he has you all pile into a car with him, and you drive out of or away from the house and into what goes from a lot of squalor, rough area, even the nicer areas that are clearly Chinese settlement, this Chinese settlement. Even the nicer areas are very tightly packed and dirty, and it's like the worst areas of London or Montreal that you would know of. I don't know if your character spent a lot of time in civilization, but you can tell that it feels dirty to you. You're used to having a room to spread out and that kind of thing, and there are rats everywhere. And we're not talking like, oh no, people are here, we're going to scurry. Like, rats are just piling on garbage, and even in the nicer areas. And then you finally like come to a wall, go through the wall, and you're in still close houses and close buildings, but everything is nicer. There's a lot of Western Europeans. There are also some Japanese walking around, and the quality of life has gone far up. You're taken to a small house. It's larger than the one you just came from, but still pretty small. And your bags are unpacked. Your bags and trunks are unpacked and taken inside. And the courier says, if you need anything, the boss has asked that you only need to say something to one of the gentlemen that will be here tonight. And if anything else comes up, please let us know. And then he takes his leave. And it's about that time that three large gentlemen that look very much like Ma in that hard-eyed way come in with guns on their hips and swords on their other hip, and they just kind of stand. And even though Ma, even you, can feel the intensity and the presence of them, and they don't acknowledge you, they just stand. And one of them walks in and looks around and comes back out, and they don't say a word, but they're there. There are 6 very small bedrooms. We're talking like bed, table, door, that's it. So there's just enough room for you to get in there and stay. It looks like this is probably a house that's used as a safe house from time to time to hold more than one person. There's 8 bedrooms that have been artificially built. They weren't originally built like this. So there's more than enough room for each of you to have your own room. What do you guys get unpacked? Or as unpacked as you can?
I have a keeper question.
Mm-hmm.
Say I want to knife a person.
Sure.
And I want to knife him from a distance. Is that thrown or is
yes,
that knifing?
that's throw.
Okay.
Did
Great.
you not ask that exact same question last time?
It's been like a
Yes.
month and a half. I don't know.
That just freaked me out. I
His
was
urge
like,
to
did
knife
I
people is
dream
increasing.
this? Or did he actually
I just want to make sure I can knife people at a distance.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, yes, you can. It's throw, and you should have a decent throw.
I do. I have a horrible knife skill though.
Okay.
Still don't get close.
So you guys get unpacked for the evening?
Yes.
The professor goes into
What
his
time
room.
is it? Like
By this time, it's probably 4:30.
when the shops and stuff like that close?
Sundown.
Yeah, sundown. So probably 6:30, almost maybe 7. And
Wait, are we in
Weren't we
we're in
told someone was
different
gonna come?
hemisphere?
yes,
We should be.
No, hemisphere is north and south.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Well, we were in the southern in
Is
Kenya,
this
right?
March? We're in March.
yeah.
So it's probably 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Yeah, yeah.
Sunset.
What was the question, Jesse?
Right.
He stated people were coming to us to be able to get things for
Get
us
for
instead
yeah.
of us going out on our own.
Right.
Okay, good. So we don't want to go out on our own.
It's not advisable.
I order noodles for everybody on TV.
So the evening passes. There's a dining area, more than enough room for you guys. The professor kind of sticks to himself. He's back writing a book since he just lost one. We're very angry about that.
Does he engage in conversation on what type of book he's writing?
He's doing another spell book. He tells you that flat out. Just gave one to some guy named Archibald. You saw his dead body. And he's very upset that got sent home, and that stupid woman doctor can't believe that she wasn't thinking and just left, and he's very angry. So the night goes.
So I have a keeper question.
Yeah.
So is that enough to push me to the angle of going into his room and knifing him into the middle of the night?
Maybe, but have you seen him cast anything yet?
No, but I'm writing one of those filthy grimoires because I know he used the word grimoire.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the kind of thing.
Do you? And I'm not trying to be facetious. Do you know what the word grimoire means? Your character?
It's French, isn't it?
Do you speak? What's your French at?
40.
Can you roll your French?
Certainly. 27.
Okay. You have a pretty solid idea of what a grimoire is.
Yeah.
So, no, I mean,
those are the kind of things.
Murdering
they
someone,
need to be
murdering
dead.
him in his bed, that might cause a problem with the other of the group. And while the priest might not be able to take you, Eva has a look in her eye.
Sure. Got a little crazy going on there.
The African gentleman, he's a hunter, and
Right.
Ma could take you every day of the week.
Right.
And not feel bad about it. So maybe murdering him in his bed might not be the best idea. Pushing him downstairs on accident, that might be a faster way.
And then shooting him from the top of the stairs with a rifle.
As long as you don't get caught.
Oh, yeah. There's that. All right. Well, then I would want to do a scene when everyone gets ready to go to bed.
Okay.
And I will pull the father aside. So you let me know.
So the night proceeds without much. Everybody's a little quiet, unless you guys are really talking. That's fine. But it's a different world for most of you. And then Ma, it's a little surreal being back here, knowing that there's not that danger you were expecting around every corner, a whole different kind of danger.
It's sort of wistful, but sort of weird at the same time. Where it's like I've got the food and the smells and the sights that I'm used to, but also it's not the situation I probably would return to.
And you also came back with money.
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, not that you were ever like poor.
I was the guy outside guarding.
Yeah. So it's strange being guarded too, and being able to order noodles, knowing that like you have enough money just from the money Weld gave you that you can order everybody noodles probably every day for the rest of your lives and be fine.
Yeah.
So that's strange too.
Yeah.
So the night goes by unless somebody has something.
Is the courier coming to the runner?
Yeah, he's around.
I want some throwing knives.
He opens his jacket and pulls looks like his set out and gives you 4.
Wow. Thank you.
And leaves. He doesn't have the hard look on him, but now that you've seen him open his jacket, he's just got knives. It's clear that nobody here is none of the Chinese citizens are going to be just pushovers. There's a chance for everybody to be hard that has anything to do with Ma or the boss. And this might give you a different light on Ma. It may not. You may go, oh, that's the Ma we know. But I don't think anybody here has seen Ma without his shirt on either. I think there was a point where you took your shirt off or something happened and they saw the scars. But, yeah.
But yeah, I would have ordered some clothes and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
I would have ordered more because of his comment. I would have had them find Western or
you've got that all
American Western. No, I brought all dresses because
everyone was telling you to wear a dress earlier.
Bringing,
no, you still probably have it all packed. All your belongings are with you.
Yeah, I have the one set of clothes with my duster and my pants and my shirt, so I would want more of that, and then I'm gonna get rid of my dresses.
Don't get rid of them. You just pack those away.
One. I'll keep one. What?
So everybody prepares
Your
for.
adopted father is going to be so.
He is not going to know about this, all right? And if you tell him, Roberto,
Robert.
Then I'm going to pull the father aside before we go upstairs to bed.
Okay. Go ahead.
May I have a moment of your time, Father?
Of course.
And I sort of pull you aside away from the group if that's possible. This conversation, I think, starts with "Forgive me, Father, for I am contemplating sin."
Okay. What troubles you?
The professor
Ah,
and his filthy book.
I see. I understand.
I don't know that you do. I'm considering ending him in his sleep tonight.
No, I do understand that. It has been suggested several times since I joined the group. And I understand the sentiment. It bothers me what he's doing as well. But he wields powers. He wields dark powers. I won't deny it. But thus far, he has used them to fight against our enemies. He uses our enemies' own weapons against them. He is not the most trustworthy man, but his actions have not given me a reason to distrust him to the point where murder could be considered justified. And I speak as a priest of the Catholic Church, but also as a man of the world. I've served in the military. I've done things that I'm not proud of. I don't want to get into that now, but there are necessary evils from time to time, and until this matter is dealt with, I believe the professor is one of those necessary evils.
So then, you are giving him your approval.
For the time being, I hope that when this adventure is done, he can be convinced to put down the tools that he has acquired for the sake of his own soul, but they have been proven invaluable.
You helped free me from that cage.
And he helped me survive to free you.
And then you led me from the mount.
Yes.
So far, following your lead has done me nothing but good. I will continue to do so.
I welcome you to keep an eye on things. Perhaps, he may be able to deceive me. Perhaps you may see something that would change my opinion. But for now, he is, as I said, something of a necessary evil. And he is a logical man, so my faith, I put faith that in God that we will be able to convince him of what needs to be done afterwards.
Thank you, Father.
You're welcome.
Then I head up to bed.
So, you all bunk down for the night. Everything seems to be at least peaceful for this first night. You wake up the next morning to almost an eerie silence. Ma, you are the first to get a feeling that something's wrong. And as you look out the window, you see there are bodies in the courtyard around the house. Bodies of the guards.
Well, that's a bad sign.
It's never a good sign.
I go look at the professor.
You open the door to the professor's room. It has been tossed. The window is open, and the professor is not there. His trunk is open. There are no books in it. The mask is gone. All of the items that were in the trunk that were not clothes are missing. Sure.
Do you alert us to this yet? Or?
Not yet. I'm looking first. I pass. Well, I guess 17.
It looks like you take a quick look. Looks like the lock on the window was broken. There is a rag on the floor. If you pick it up and smell it a little.
Does it smell like chloroform?
It does smell like chloroform.
I pass out.
No, not that bad. I'm sure you don't put it straight. Mine's smarter than that.
No, I'm so sad that I. Oh no.
Yeah, no. You like in Arrested Development where he keeps taking the pills to forget.
Yeah.
So you smell it. It smells of chloroform. There's been a struggle, but it was a very quick one.
Mm-hmm.
And the professor was taken without even his boots or his shoes, and he's gone. You don't see much else of anything left behind.
I'm gonna go wake up myself.
So you guys all are woken up by Ma quietly and calmly just knocking on doors and waking everyone up, I assume.
I announced the professor has been taken.
So,
What?
Yeah.
What about his things in his room?
Oh, those are the things.
I go rushing up
Oh
there.
my god. Do
Yeah.
you guys know what was in that trunk?
Yes.
Yes, his implements
And,
of
Oh.
yeah, the books, everything's gone.
like even the fresh grimoire he was working on.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
everything.
Yeah, his ink pen and pen pot or ink pot gone. Like everything that had anything to do with the professor that wasn't just plain old clothes gone. His hat's still there, but that's it.
Oh, I take that.
It was a nice hat.
It's got that thing in it.
Yeah, it's got that metal.
Yeah.
It's got the headband.
Yeah,
in it.
yeah. It is.
You
It
know
still has the.
that?
Yeah, it still has the weight of the headband, but
I take that back. I don't know that, but I would. I mean, we would probably discover it the moment
yeah,
we picked up the hat and
yeah.
weighed it
The
5 pounds.
the weight of the hat is wrong, and yeah,
the weapons. Is he
gone. They were. His machete was all etched with arcane scribble, and his shotgun is there. Shotguns, plural, all 13 of them or whatever he had.
The sticks are gone. The
Sticks are gone. All that's gone.
Doesn't somebody else have something?
Nope.
Archibald did.
No, you sent that back to America.
Yeah.
Oh. Ha. Anyway.
Ma, you go downstairs.
Yeah.
There is a man with his throat slit laying on the floor. He's one of your guards. He's kind of in the kitchen area. The door is open, like he had come inside. From what you can tell, because you've murdered people like this before, I'm sure, it was done from behind, and it was done quietly and quickly, and he got out before he could make a sound.
These wounds all look like normal wounds. Nothing magic about them.
There's nothing magic about them. No. But it looks like a sickle was used.
Can I roll my arcana?
Like a comma?
See if there's any magic.
No arcana. What?
Like a comma.
No, like a sickle. A comma has a straight blade. A sickle has a curved blade. There's a difference.
Comma's
Is it?
Yeah, at the,
Not
at
quite.
the
It's
tip.
not like
Yeah, it's not like a.
other thing, but
That's
It's a
tip.
full sickle. It's a full curved sickle.
I watched the father looking at the hat and looking around, and then I'm going to sweep and clear the house with my rifle.
I would say that would be as soon as I'm done and look in the
Yeah.
professor's room.
There are a total 8 dead bodies. 7 of them outside on the ground and 1 inside.
Well,
All
this is
have
just
had their
great.
throats slit.
I really feel protected now.
Does their bodies look like they've been rifled through, or are they
Nope.
just...
Nope. Just
Dead.
killed them and moved.
So
Can I
the
use
window was broken into from the outside in
Mhm.
the professor's room.
Mhm.
So they took the time to break in
twice?
and then break in from the outside.
The,
break
the,
into
the,
window.
the guy in the kitchen probably opened the door and came in.
Like he was walking into the house, and as he was walking into the house, they got him.
I
yeah.
see.
So, and instead of going up the stairs where they weren't, who knows which room they knew which room it was probably from the outside, like as though they had been watching. If you had to guess, as though they had been watching.
Or jump up on the second level, look in a window. Oh, that's the guy.
Yeah.
And the 8 guards and us were the only people in the house.
Yeah.
There weren't any cooks or butlers or anything.
No, the noodles that were ordered were brought in from an outside. Yeah.
So, I mean, we're not looking at a traitor situation.
No.
Everything's accounted for.
Yeah.
Aside from the professor and stuff.
It is still early morning, so probably 7 or 8. Business will open soon, but they're probably not open yet, especially not bars.
It bothers me that they didn't try to kill any of the rest of us.
Actually, give me an idea roll.
Okay.
Now that you said something.
Step by 4.
Yeah, that does seem very strange. Like, you don't have any idea why that would be.
I mean, now that I said it, would I look? I mean, I would check car doors.
Did you say it out loud?
Oh yeah.
Did we all have an idea?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm
That's
thinking
fine.
we were beneath the surface.
Yeah.
Why us? I mean,
Like, are you?
I have an idea.
Made it.
I have no clue whatsoever.
Robert, and
I'm sure these two.
Chisoba say, and Ma, they all seem, well, he's the only one that's been around. So if word got passed forward, he's the only one that's been in every spot.
All right. Well,
I went crazy.
But I'm with you. I'm like, yeah, we're not even a threat. We're not even on the radar as a threat.
well, that's
Professor,
good.
maybe.
Also, he was the magic arsenal. That also makes sense to take your strongest weapon and not worry about the rest of you, because that could have turned into a fight.
But I'm just saying, when we're in our sleep, they could have killed us all and been done with it.
All it takes is for one person to scream though, and then the rest of us.
I suppose just super surgical strike.
I'm gonna go out and around and see if I can't find the tracks of where he might have dragged off to.
That's what I was going to
Roll
say.
track. Good call.
Oh, is there? a
Yeah,
track?
no.
I'm gonna join
Because I would do that.
Chisobo and see what he's looking for.
Are you joking?
Made
I
it
tried this
big.
13 and I rolled a 12.
In Ma's homeland, he understands how to track people. Mark it.
He looks for the Diet Mountain Dew can. There it is. That's the direction. I went.
So Ma and Robert, you do find some tire tracks outside the wall. It looks like they're fresh enough, and they're narrow like a car, and you haven't seen many cars come through this area. And there is some. There are trees here and there. There are some broken branches right there, like they went over the wall there. And so whoever took him by car, and who knows where he went. It's going to be hard to track tire tracks through the city.
How many was there soft enough ground to see? Okay, well, there's obviously a
Oh,
driver, and how many other?
You're looking at
car?
probably 5 people.
Better men than Dan does.
Well, now I'm kind of with the father. If there were 5 of them, why didn't they just wipe us all out?
Can I do an idea roll? I mean, the thing is, I know.
No, it just is what it is.
He's the one that had the books. He's the one that had all the information about what we knew we were up against.
And given that he was wielding the source of evil that they used themselves, then perhaps they were just reclaiming treasures that he had found as rightfully their own.
I tried to burn those things. I tried. Nobody listened to me.
And by the way, my thought right after killing him would have been to burn all his books.
Right there with you, sir.
On both accounts.
Well, next time I have a bird in the hand, I won't hesitate.
So what now?
Yeah, where are you guys headed?
Back into the house.
Ma, you know that you're in the British section.
Mm-hmm.
You have to call the police. That's
Shouldn't
the
we
proper.
shouldn't we touch base with Dang first, since this is his arrangement?
This is true, but eventually someone's going to walk by and deliver something and see bodies.
The police report today.
that I guess you are absolutely right. Contact the right police,
Yes.
and that should do the job. So
There's a basic phone relay inside that you can use. And you call the correct police, I assume. You probably know somebody's name from your
Yes.
Well, and I imagine if whoever picked up on the other line would either be one of Dang's people or something along that, and then the idea being we need to summon the police, and they would probably send
Sure.
either way, I spend my time packing to move because I ain't staying here again. Right?
The police show up along with the courier, who shakes his head like, "Wow, that was quick." Do any and he comes up to Ma. Do any of you have any other contacts here? Boss Dang can't guarantee your safety. He apologizes greatly, but these were some of his best men, and now they're not. They are no longer.
It is understood. I would not want to
Impose further.
impose further.
I have some contacts.
You do?
What?
Yes, I do. And Matt will tell us who they are in a minute.
It's your contacts through the Earl of Sandwich.
Ah.
He gave you some people to look up if you needed anything in various cities around. Like you
Yes.
have some people in India that you need to look up if you get
The
there.
Earl of Sandwich said that I could get in touch with such and so over in the hoo-ha over here.
We're in the
Over in the hoo-ha?
Is there Earl of Sandwich Wilkerson's dad?
Yeah.
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 Earl Sandwich?
Yeah.
I forgot that.
Well, because I didn't publicize it, but if you follow who that Earl is from Kent, that has to be the Earl of
Oh my
Sandwich.
goodness, all right.
I just wanted to say Earl of Sandwich.
He was the 8th Earl of Sandwich. Yes.
So Lord Wilkerson has given Eva some contacts, which would put you in a diplomatic position. Ma, you know that it would put you in a diplomatic position that could be very, very bad for anyone that would move like that. Even if
What
it's
does that mean?
if there are people like Dang who control the streets, quote unquote, but then there are people that actually control the entire city, and they're the British.
Yeah.
So if you move against them, they will come down and crush you. They're fine with whatever crime goes on in the city. That's the city's problem. But as soon as that crime messes with British holdings in a big bad way,
Stall that out.
and messing with the friends of a member of parliament is not the way to go about doing anything.
Yeah,
So
even
we should
people on the
go-
other side of the planet, it's
Yeah.
like, that's not good.
Meekly, she would say, I have some contacts.
So what you're saying as a keeper is we should have talked to these people before we got the professor kidnapped.
No. I mean, Ma was your guide here. Really, it really fits that way. So, yeah.
I didn't want to step on anybody's toes when we got here, so I just wanted to follow
Eva
Mr. Ma's lead.
Eva walks over to the phone, taps a couple of times, gives a name and a number, and is connected. And like 10 minutes later, a nice British car, as well as another British like passenger truck show up, and properly dressed British servants come out and take things.
And I'm in my duster.
Ta-da! See, you should have been in the
Trouble.
dress. You're going to get in trouble. He will find out.
You guys pile in the car and head deeper into the British section of Shanghai. And that'll do us tonight for Masks of Nyarlathotep. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter. You can find us over at patreon.com at patreon.com/nerdsdomain. And you can go over to the website and sign up for our newsletter on the right-hand side.
Sign up for the newsletter.
And you can find our shirts over at /loot. And we will talk to you guys real soon.
This has been a production of the Omega Nerds Network, the network where it's on.